So Nick, you mentioned a little bit about some organic kind of strategies. So I do want to pivot a little bit to organic now and have that conversation. So we all know, first and foremost, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those mega shopping sale days. Those are the big days, right? That's what everybody cares about. But there are some really impactful things that brands should be doing leading up to those days that make those days even bigger, right? To your point about amplification, there are things that we can be doing to amplify Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I was hoping that you guys could just talk quickly about what are some of the things that we've seen work to amplify some of those mega sale days, and what are some tactics brands can use to make sure that this Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever it might be, is kind of like their biggest yet.
Definitely, that's a great question. I think we got a lot of really impactful data this year from Prime Day after digging in quite a bit. Obviously, October is kickoff and start to the holiday shopping season, but this year we really expect shoppers to start earlier and earlier. There's a lot of logistical issues going on with retail, so we do expect consumers to be looking early and making purchases earlier than normal. So while Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just like you said, Megan, is super important, there's a lot you should be doing before Black Friday and Cyber Monday. An area I think I would focus on most is promotions. Obviously, promotions are incredibly important for Q4, but historically we've really focused on what promos to run during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then, peaks in December when we, that kind of last minute holiday shopper. But what we found incredibly interesting when digging in after Prime Day is that our brands that ran any sort of deal, any sort of price cut or coupon leading into Prime Day actually saw a huge increase in their BSR. So their bestseller rank within their category for that product actually, I guess we could say decreased, right? It went from like 300 to 100, and they're starting to show up organically more and more. So that really set them up for success for all of that traffic that came in for Prime Day. So that's something that we're trying to execute during Q4. We're actually running promos a couple weeks before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, trying to increase that BSR and getting as much organic traffic and conversions as possible during those peak events.
That's a really interesting tactic, but just a quick follow-up question for that. So I'm a brand, maybe my margins are thin, they're slim, Amazon's already taking a cut. I can't justify running a promotion for such an extended period of time, right? Are there tactics or ways that brands can do this thoughtfully without sacrificing kind of like the bottom line?
Definitely. I think a really interesting way to look at this and kind of think outside of the box a little bit is that this could actually save you money in terms of advertising during those peak timeframes. If you're continuously increasing your BSR leading into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you're not as beholden to advertising during that peak timeframe because you're getting so much more organic traffic. And we know cost per clicks increase dramatically during these peak timeframes. It's harder and harder to win top placements. So that's one thing. A couple other things that I'd like to touch on though is, testing. So you should really be using Q3 to test. We definitely wouldn't suggest running a 15% off, a 20% off promo during those 2 weeks in. We would suggest testing out a $2 promo. What does a 5% do? And you should try to start understanding if, different promotional cuts have the same sales lift. So can I start really drastically increasing my BSR with a $2 price cut? And that's really helping protect my margin. And is that doing the same thing that a $5 price cut would be? And honestly, we found in a lot of instances that it is. There's not much difference between 15% off and 20% off when it comes to sales lifts from what we found, which is important for those peak event days as well. The other thing that I really want to make apparent is that brands should not be doing this for their entire catalog, even 10% of your catalog. You should really be focusing on anywhere from 2 to 5 items and pushing those. The 80-20 rule is very, very, very true on Amazon. And you're going to actually get a lot further pushing 2 products than you would pushing 10. So definitely protect your margins, test as much as possible now, and run little promos leading into your peak promo timeframe, but also understand that you don't need to do 20% on Black Friday. You could probably get away with 15%.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that works? We'll see sometimes bigger promotions actually do worse, and you're like, what?
Yes.
I love these tactics and tips. I think these are really good. But could you talk also just quickly about, what are the things that brands must do, right? I think that is a really advanced tactic that brands can start employing and using that lead up period, running promotions, testing all the promotions now. I think that makes a lot of sense. But what are the must do for brands, right? Like that would be great. That might be, somebody might be looking at this and being like, well, I don't have the resources or won't be able to get it approved in time or whatever it might be. Great. Just keep that in mind for your next mega sale day. But what are the bare minimum things? If you think about organic on Amazon, the brand just absolutely has to do in order to prep for a holiday. You cannot miss these things.
Yeah, so first and foremost, definitely take a look at your SEO. For most of our clients, we definitely do an update on at least their top items for holiday. If it's a toy item, how can we really peak for kids' toys? If it's a gift giving item, include that in your SEO, and not just your SEO, but your creative as well. If a brand has imagery that's more related to a holiday event, update your A+ content. These are really important because we know with the A10 update to that algorithm, relevance is far more important than it used to be. So if someone's searching for, these terms, no matter how broad they are, you want to make sure you're showing up. And if you're pushing advertising that, your SEO aligns, you always want to align your SEO with your advertising. That's something that we see happen a lot. Brands, are kind of working in silos. So, their sales department is updating and creating these product listings, and then marketing is pushing advertising, but they really need to align because it all intertwines. The other big thing I would definitely make sure you do is update your brand store. Updating your brand store could literally be as easy as adding a tab that's like top holiday or gift ideas. Kind of going back to that gift giving guide section that we were talking about, it just makes it that much easier to give your consumer an idea of what to purchase from your catalog, and it'll drive that conversion. And then lastly, if you missed your deal cutoff, just run a coupon. Again, make sure you're running a coupon during these peak timeframes. Doesn't have to be huge. We see that traffic kind of outweighs conversion rates. We always see increased conversion rates, but what you're really seeing is an increase in traffic during these peak timeframes. So just make sure organically you have those 3 things set up.